caress you, tell you how much I miss you. Yeah. I just wanna see you, leave you, rub you, caress you, tell you how. I just wanna see you, leave you, rub you. I just wanna see you, leave you, rub you, caress you, tell you how. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Candy, and today is going to be a talk video. I wanted to give you guys some of my knowledge and some of my blessings that I have received, and I want to give them to you guys. So this will be a talk video, a chit chat. It will be a video just kind of talking about God and how me and my husband have been blessed so very much, and how God has revealed himself so many different times to us. And I would like to do a story time with you guys. So if you would like to see this video, keep watching. And if you have not already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. All right, guys, continue. Okay, you guys are all tuned in. So today will be story time, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the blessings that I have received coming down to Las Vegas and even being here in Las Vegas. Me and my husband and my family. So these are true stories. Nothing in these are fiction or made up. These are things that really happened to us, and God did reveal himself to us so many different times. And I want to share that with you guys just in case somebody is doubting or is going back and forth in their mind about the relationship that they have with God, or if there are any non-believers that don't believe in God, that thinks it's all fairy tale, that it's all made up. It's not. It's real. And I'm going to share a couple things with you guys throughout the video. I was going to release this video for Friday, like I said in my previous videos that I was going to be talking on Friday. But I am going to release this video Sunday. So if you guys are seeing this, it is Sunday, the Lord's Day. So I'm going to be releasing this on Sunday. So the first thing I want to start out with is my commute from California to Las Vegas. So as you guys know, I was in an abusive relationship. You guys can refer back to my domestic violence video to check that out. Now, the last day, a couple days before I made the commute here, my financial situation was all over the place. My ex had caused me to lose my job. I didn't have money. It was crazy. And I had to put all my things into storage and rent a car. I had a Tahoe, a Chevy Tahoe that was still in my name. Let him keep it, didn't want to fight him for it. Basically let him keep it. So this particular day, this was 2 days before I actually made the commute. So the house that I was staying in, of course, I lost my job. I could no longer afford to live there. And I remember going back and forth to court just to prolong it a little bit longer so that I could figure something out about where me and my 4 kids was going to go. So 2 days, they gave us a date to be out of the house. And I had, for the most part, had everything already into storage. Everything was already packed up and ready to go. But I did have some bags that was left there that I was taking with me. And I still had to take a couple things to storage. So this particular day, you guys, it was the worst day. So I had my little cousin babysitting the 4 boys for me because I had to go figure out how I was going to get the rental car. And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, had picked me up. So he picked me up. We were headed to the rental car place. While I'm at the rental car place, my cousin calls me and tells me that the sheriffs are there. And they're throwing everything out of the house that was left in the house. And the kids are sitting on the sidewalk. So, yeah. So, I'm like hysterical. I'm crying. It's just, I was all over the place because I was supposed to have left already. So, I was talking to my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, and I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have the money to move. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he said, don't worry about it. So he drove me back to the house. picking up my things off the sidewalk and were commuting it back to my storage. So I ended up staying at my little sister's apartment for 2 days before we officially moved to Las Vegas. Now, here's the part. So something in me was like, check your card, my bank card. And I'm like, why do I want to check my card? There's no money on it. Guys, I checked my card. There was like $1,400 on my bank card. I don't know how it got there. I was like, whoa. So I had another dilemma. I was going back and forth to court because my license had got suspended because I couldn't afford to pay the ticket. So I had to wait a little bit longer. So eventually I did get my license back, but I didn't have the hard copy, so I couldn't rent a car. So my son's grandmother, because remember, my oldest is not with the guy, my ex. My oldest is from a previous relationship. So his grandmother, and I am grateful to have her. She helped me out a lot. She ended up renting a car for me and just adding me on as a driver. So that's how I got to Las Vegas. Now, mind you guys, I love my aunt with everything in me. I had spoken to my aunt because I didn't have anywhere to go once I got to Las Vegas. It was me, my oldest son was staying with his grandmother for just a little while until we got settled. And then he came down later. But so for now, it was just me, my daughter, and my two younger boys, and my now husband. And my cousin had hitched a ride back with us because she wanted to come to Vegas. So we all came back. Now I had spoke to my aunt previously and talked to her about it. She was like, yeah, it's fine. You guys come down here, da 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 da. It's just me. So we made the commute, the 4-hour drive from California to Las Vegas. And we pull up and I park. I go upstairs. There is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 adults and 6 other children already in her apartment. 2-bedroom apartment. One of the rooms was already occupied, of course, by my aunt. And it was very small. And stuff was everywhere. And I was like, who are all these people? And I hadn't lived with anybody in a very long time. I've always been very independent. So I talked to my aunt and I said, why didn't you tell me all these people were here? She said, I knew you wouldn't come. And I said, where are we supposed to stay? There's no room. The whole floor is covered with people and bodies. And the room that we were supposed to sleep in, they had bodies in those rooms too. So we left my aunt's house. I went to my sister's house. There was no room at my sister's house. I went to my other sister's house. There was no room at my other sister's house. So we're basically homeless. Just got there. We didn't sleep that night. It was a big mess. So I'm crying. I don't know what we're going to do. I was like, you know what? I'm going back to California. I'll figure it out when I get there. So my aunt ended up convincing me to stay. She gave us the room, which the other people didn't like at all. She gave us the room. And then my boys went back and forth between my aunt's house because there was so many people in my sister's house. So we did that for a while. And I remember this one time, because we were like on a strict budget. We didn't have a lot of money. My husband had got a job right away. And then I got a job right after him. So this was right before I got the job, but he had already started working at this job. So we had ran out of food. I was buying food, but we had so many people in the house, they were just eating all of our food. So I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And I remember praying, and I was like, God, please help me. Like, I'm down here, I'm uncomfortable. I need to feed the kids. Like, we don't have food. And mind you, I hadn't got child support from my older son's father in a very long time. So I stopped even checking the card. So something just told me to check that child support card. And I did. And it was over $600 on that card. No lie. $600 was on that card. And I told my husband, and he was like, I said, I prayed and I prayed. And I said, something was nagging me to check this card, and there's $600 on it. Now, the younger 3 is by the person that I referred to in my domestic violence video. And he's never paid child support. He will never pay child support. He has a medical condition, so he can have 50 kids and never have to pay for any of them. So that was out of the question. So, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, and it's so many things, you guys, that happened. And I know it was God. I know it was God. Now, this is going to really get you. So, fast forward. I'm working. My husband's working. I'm still getting some kind of child support. It wasn't much, but we're both working. So, we were trying to save so we can move out and get our apartment. Okay. So we had to do some important things in California. So we ended up getting a rental car. And of course, I took the kids with me. Now, we knew going out there, because you guys know how the rental car service works. Once they hold the money on your car for your deposit and your mileage and however many days you're keeping it. So we only had enough money on that card for that. That was it. So we drove down there with a full tank. That was all of our money. We didn't have money for food. We didn't have money for any more gas. So we took care of our business. And coming back, once we got to like Barstow, we were on E. The light was on. The light was blinking. And usually I panic. Now, my husband was panicking. He was like, oh my God, I got to try and call somebody. We're going to run out of gas. And I'm just listening to music, y'all. I'm just chilling. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm relaxed. I was relaxed. And he said, why are you so calm? I said, I don't know. I'm just not worried about it. So nobody's answering the phone for us. Nobody's answering, which is usual because we don't get a lot of help. A lot of our help comes from strangers. So something again, it said, check your bank card. And it was just eating me. Like, I don't know if you've ever had a feeling like you have to do something and it's just going to kill you. I had that feeling. So finally, after ignoring it for about 40 minutes, I turned the radio down. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm checking my bank card. He said, why would you do that? There's no money on that card. I said, I don't know. I just want to check it. Something's just telling me to check it. You guys, I called that bank card all of the money. Now, we still got the rental car. We haven't even returned it yet. We're still driving in it. All of the money that we had left on the rental car, including the deposit, the mileage, the gas, and the cost of the rental car, was back on my card. Funds available. I cannot make this stuff up. Funds available. And my husband looked at me. He said, you know who that was? I said, I know. It was God. And he said, yes, he hears us. He sees us. He sees our struggle. He sees our struggle. Sometimes I would get into these funk where I'm like, is God listening to me? Does he see me? Does he see me trying? Does he understand? And he does. God works on his timing. And he does things to reveal himself so that you know that it came from him. Not a coincidence, nothing. That it solely came from him. And it didn't even stop there, you guys. So this money still had to be paid, okay? We returned the rental car the next day. And we're like, oh my gosh, they're going to overdraft my account. I don't know what's going to happen. That money's not there. You guys, our next payday, and it wasn't for another 2 weeks, is when the rental car company took the money. God set it up to where that money was going to be in my account. See, God don't steal. God does not steal. He's not going to make it to where he's stealing. And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, nobody's ever going to believe this. But this is why I'm sharing some of these stories with you guys, because when things like that happen, you're supposed to share that with another person, not keep it to yourself. Because God wants you to spread the word. He wants you guys to know that he is real. And he's proven to me that he is real. Regardless to anything else, he is real. Another situation. So, like I told you guys, we worked at this job, me and my husband. I mean, it was the first job we got when we were down here. It was a crazy job, you guys. We work with mentally disabled, very violent adults. So we would fight them. They would be trying to bite us, kick us, spit on us. So we just be fighting all day long with these people. Didn't pay very much either. Okay. So I remember my husband had his wallet and we were on the bus. We didn't have a car. So I was like, he had his wallet in his back pocket. And I kept telling him, don't put your wallet in your back pocket. He lost the wallet, y'all. It had our bus pass and approximately $75 in it. All of our money. Okay? Lost. We ran back to the bus. It wasn't there. We thought somebody had picked it up. We went back to the house. I mean, once we got to the house, we thought he dropped it. We went back to the house. We looked. It was nowhere to be found. We emptied out the trash cans. We looked everywhere for this wallet. Nowhere. So now we're panicking. How are we going to get to work tomorrow? What's going on? We don't have any money. So then my aunt, she was like, don't worry about it, you guys. I'm going to give you. So the devil is mad, you guys. He kept putting my light out, but I'm still going to tell the story. So we're looking for this wallet. Nowhere to be found. My aunt gives us the money to get on the bus. So we get on the bus in the morning. My husband's fuming. He's like, someone stole my wallet. It was that guy that was sitting next to me. And I mind you, every morning we see these same people because we all take the bus to work together. So we get on the bus. Before we got on the bus, we saw this young woman every morning. She worked at a nursing home. She had her headphones in. She had her scrubs on. And she always took the bus with us. So this morning she had her headphones in. She had her scrubs on. And she was ready to get on the bus. Okay? So we get on the bus. She walks all the way to the back of the bus, sits there with her headphones on. Me and my husband is sitting on the front of the bus. The guy that he thought stole his wallet was sitting right next to us. So he turns around and he's like, yeah, did you see my wallet yesterday? I know you took it and you're the only one there. My wallet is missing and da-da-da-da-da. So he's going off on the guy and I'm like, calm down. Just calm down. If it's gone, God will replace it. That's what I kept telling them. And usually I'm the one panicking. So the girl from the very back of the bus, she walks to the front of the bus. And she stands there and she took one of her earphones out. And she went in her pocket and she pulled out $75. No, first she pulled out $50. And she went like this, just like that. And I just looked and my husband started talking to the guy. And then she went back in her pocket and she pulled out $75. And I said, I can't take that from you. She said, I want you to. And then she looked at my husband. She's trying to give it to him. And he wouldn't take it. I said, why are you doing this? She said, God told me to. She said, God told me to. And then she handed us the money, put her earphones back in, and went to the back of the bus. And me and my husband was talking about it all day. And I said, God told her to give us that money. So you guys, we go all day. We get off work. We go back to my aunt's apartment. That wallet that we were looking for was sitting in the middle of our floor in plain sight. No lie. That very wallet with the money and the bus passes in it, in the middle of the floor. And we had looked everywhere. It was there. We had told people, a lot of people did not believe us. They were like, oh no, you guys just didn't see it. It was sitting in the middle of our room floor in plain sight. I was like, oh my God. Like, and he kept doing things like that, revealing himself to us to build our faith, to build our hope. And I remember I was like, okay, we got to find a place. So we started looking, we found this apartment. And initially when we went to the apartment, it was one price, which was in our, slightly out of our price range, was still in our price range. And then I guess in Vegas, the rent fluctuates. So when we went back that following pay period, the rent had gone up. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if we can afford that. We don't even have that much money. And I still had to pay my aunt's bill. You know, she's on a fixed income and her bills were slightly higher because we were staying there. So I went in and I paid my aunt's bill. I didn't know how we were going to get that money, you guys. I was like kind of depressed. And I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. And we had went back and we spoke to this Spanish lady named Maria. And she ended up finding us a downstairs unit in the front that was the original price of the amount that we were going to pay originally. And she said, if you leave down a deposit, I'll hold it for you. And we did. We did. And we ended up moving into that apartment. And we stayed there almost 3 years. Now, my husband, he ended up not working at that place anymore. I ended up finding another job. And then he started working at this other place and he ended up getting laid off there. So he was kind of jobless for a minute and we went through it, y'all. We was going through it. We were donating plasma to feed our children. We would go to work all day, go donate plasma just to keep food in our kids' mouth. That's how bad it got. We were sleeping on the floor. All of my stuff was in storage and I still had to pay that storage bill. I had to pay court fees. It was just terrible. Like there was never enough of anything. And I remember this one year, I filed taxes. And I was like, you know, like, okay, we need this. So that money was gone. I had to move all my stuff down here, you know, so we can get everybody off the floors and the kids needed new beds. And it was just a whole bunch of stuff. So, and we couldn't afford a car yet because all that money had to be used. So I remember I was on my way to work. I was still on the bus. And something just kept telling me to check this child support card. So I did. Right before I headed into the door into work. And it said, you have, how much was it? $10,853.66 on your card. And I hung the phone up. And I was like, so I called it back again. And it said the same thing. So then I was like, oh my God, where did this money come from? He don't make that much money. And then I thought, oh, he owes in arrears. So they gave it to me. We were able to get a car. We were able to get the kids what they needed. God makes a way out of no way. He makes a way where you don't have to worry. I know it's human nature to worry because I battle with worrying. Like I'm not near where I'm supposed to be. I'm not near where I want to be. I haven't made it anywhere, but I made it further than where I was, which is progress. And progress is better than nothing. And it's all because of God. All of it. And we ended up moving out of that apartment into a 6-bedroom house with a pool and a jacuzzi. And that's where we are now. And yeah, it's very expensive. A lot of people looked at us like, You guys are crazy. Nothing's too big for God. Nothing. If he didn't want us to have it, we wouldn't have it. So I said that. I'm saying that to say this. Anything you can dream, your biggest dream in your whole imagination, God can give you that just like that and more. Whatever your little mind can think of, he's thinking way beyond that. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do something, or that you're dreaming too big, or that you sound crazy. I've heard it all. Or that's a little much. No, it's not. If there's something that you want, you can do it. It's always a way to do it. Now, there was a lot of friends, and I'm going to say this, and I really don't care who don't like it. I had a lot of people around me that I call my friends, even family. And I prayed. I cut so many people off. I was being used. I was being mistreated. And I said, God, whoever is not for me, remove them from me. I didn't even have to cut people off. They was cutting themselves off. People were just dropping like flies. And I found myself in this little circle. So tight, you could fit a pin in it. Sometimes your circle has to be small because where you're going, everybody is not meant to go. Some people are only there for a season. That is it. Sometimes you're only there in a person's life for a season. Everybody can't go where you're going. And I had to realize that. So now my circle is small, very small, minute, micro. And you know what? I feel better with it being that way. You don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to worry about who's doing what. You don't have to worry about any of that. Because God said that he will prepare a table in the presence of your enemies. So everybody that has anything negative to say about you, it is okay. Let them talk. It is okay. They're going to see your shine no matter what. Can't nobody stop that. And that was Psalms 23, chapter 5. You guys, there are certain things in this life, in this world, that doesn't require a whole bunch of people. Now, granted, you do need people if you have God-sized dreams to help you. You do need them. But God will put the people in your life that's supposed to be there. We don't always know what's best for us. Like right now, I have ginormous dreams, big dreams. I know not everybody's going to support me. I know not everybody is going to like me. I know some people might be laughing about it, but it's still my vision. And if God wants it for me, he's going to make it happen. And you have to think positive. And sometimes we battle that. I know I do. We battle thinking positive because it's hard. Especially when you're going through all these other things and everything is chaotic and you just need a break. I felt like that. I still feel like that sometimes. But you just have to close your eyes and pray. And I know a lot of people are looking like, what is she talking about? You'll never know the type of peace you'll get until you get a relationship with God. Sometimes family, just because it's a word family, that doesn't mean that they're supposed to be around. That doesn't mean that they belong in your circle. That doesn't mean anything. I told you, a lot of our help came from strangers that we barely knew, who are now like family. You may know who they are. It's a lot of people. Listen, let me tell you guys something. When I was in California, before I came down here, I was sleeping out of my car for 5 months. 5 months. And I still had to go to work. I was homeless. My kids was place to place. That was hard. And I'm still here. I didn't look homeless. And before that, I was in my house for 5 years. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. And then I ended up getting a house that I told you I had to leave and come down here. So I went from being homeless to moving into this big, beautiful house to then being homeless again. There's always a lesson in everything. It's always a lesson in everything. If you guys are unsure or don't know about how to start a relationship with God, or you feel like, oh, I've done too much, I'm too bad of a person, that's not true. All you have to do is close your eyes and pray. Ask God for forgiveness. Ask Him to guide you, and He will. That's it. Accept Him into your heart. Confess that Jesus is the Son of God. Confess it. Ask God to guide you, and He will. I don't care what you did in your past. You could have been a serial killer. You could have been a bank robber. You could have been whatever. It doesn't matter. God gives us free will and we are saved through His grace, but He gives us free will. That's the key. He gives us free will. And it's up to you to get a relationship with Him, especially now in the day and age that we live in. Get a relationship with God. Nobody's perfect. I know there's a lot of Christians or Christian, families and churches where they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. You'll gradually change into who God wants you to be, but nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. And you don't have to. This is your journey. This is your relationship with God. They might have a different relationship with God. Maybe that's the type of relationship they want with God. Get your relationship with Him. And He'll guide you. And you'll see yourself transforming. So you guys, this video is getting kind of long, but I did want to share that with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope whoever is watching this gets a blessing out of it. I hope that if you're going through something that you pull through it. There's a lot of times I was going through things and all I could do is pray. I can't tell you guys how many times I prayed in my car when I didn't have nowhere to go. I can't even tell you. I prayed and cried and prayed and cried. And at one point I thought God did not hear me. Sometimes God will remove the very people that has us like this. Just think of it like this. You're with somebody. The person that God actually has for you is out there. And this person is here with you. You'll never be able to meet that person. So God is trying to pull you guys apart. And you're like this. It's like holding on to a knife and pulling like this and cutting your hand. And then saying, God, please help me. Why does He keep hurting me? All you have to do is let go. Let go. With time, all wounds will heal. Let go of it. God keeps removing that person, and maybe you're in God's way. Let it go. If you're ever going to heal, if you're ever going to be happy, let it go. And I promise you, things will look up, things will get better. I thought God didn't hear me. I told you guys that in my domestic violence video. I thought I was cursed. And it was me the entire time. God kept removing them, and I kept letting them back. And then I'm asking God why. And God looking at me like, girl, it's you. You're why. I keep removing him and you keep letting him back. Sometimes you just got to let it go. All right, guys. If you like this video, if you found it helpful in any kind of way, if you would like me to do more of these videos, go ahead and leave it in my comment section. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will be doing some upcoming videos for you guys. I do look forward to chit-chatting with you next week. And until my next video, you guys. Bye.